Hey, what is going on, guys? So I wanted to show you guys how I find my key levels. So let me go back real quick. So how I find my levels that show me my support, my resistance, where we could have potential areas of rejection, where we could have potential areas of support. So we'll just delete all this really quick. And the indicator that I use is this one right here. So this is the indicator that I use. It's called Dynamic Support Resistance Zones, and it's created by this creator right here. His name is Chart Prime. So the indicator looks like this when you first get it, but I tweak the settings a little bit. So this is how it originally looks, but I tweak the settings a little bit, and I'll show you what I mean when I say I tweak the settings. So we can exit out of that. We will add it. So once you find the indicator, just click on it and it will add as one of your indicators on the side panel right here. So now this is the indicator right here. You can see when we turn it on, it looks like this. But we go to the settings and make sure your settings look exactly like mine. So I will scroll down slowly. Just make sure your settings look exactly like this. So make sure this says linear, make sure this says 100 pivots, and then make sure everything looks exactly like this. So when you first get it, I don't think this is clicked on the show support resistance zone. So make sure you check that box. And then as we go down, you can see this part right here, the distribution overlay. This is normally clicked on, but I unclick it. I don't use this. So I don't use this at all. So don't click on this. And everything else looks just like that. So make sure your settings look exactly like mine. Now, once we add it to our chart, make sure you are on extended right here. So at the bottom here, you could see it says regular trading. Make sure you are on extended trading hours. Now, depending on how you trade, if you are someone who likes to trade swing trade, you like to hold a trade and hold it for a few days, maybe you want to be using higher time frames. If you're someone who likes to day trade, maybe you want to use the lower time frames. But I'll show you guys what I like to do, and sometimes I tweak it. Sometimes I use the lower time frame, sometimes I use some of the higher time frames to find my key levels. But I'll show you guys, if you want some high accuracy trades, I start with the monthly time frame. I turn on the indicator and I go ahead and I see if I have any key levels for my monthly time frame, just to see where we are at. So you can see here with Microsoft, we are trading above this monthly range right here. So you could say we might be a little bit bullish. Now we go to the weekly time frame, and usually it's the weekly and the daily time frame where I start to actually chart. So right here, this is our weekly time frame, and we can see that we had a breakout right here. We had a little bit of a resistance. We broke out right here, and we've been making kind of a uptrend and trading within this range. Now, I use my square tool, which is up here, and I use it to just make my zone. So I make that zone right there, and I go ahead and I name this a weekly level. So the way you can name it a level, so just say right here, just say you made a random zone right here, you double click it, and you can have write down whatever you want. So you can write weekly right here, and when you're done, you can save it. So you can click right here and you can save it. You can save the drawing under whatever name you want. So I made a weekly, a monthly, a daily, and a 4 hour and a 2 hour zone. And I saved it so that whenever I make my zones, they're already there for me. So this one will make it green because it's a support level. And then we can use our tool and we can just carry this over. So we can just grab it, and it'll let us duplicate. So we can just grab it and move it, and it'll duplicate just like that. That is another weekly level, and we will make that red. So now I'm going to turn off the indicator really quick, and you can see we have a weekly level, a weekly demand zone, and we have a weekly supply level up there. So now do the same thing, but now I go to the 24-hour time frame, which is our daily time frame, and I do the same thing. So I make my zone, I come here, I find my daily, I make it green. That's a support level. I can duplicate it by dragging it. I hold command and then I just drag it. That duplicates it. I move it higher up. That's another daily demand zone. I do the same thing all the way up here. You can see there's a level up there. We can make that red for resistance. And then I go to the 4-hour time frame and I do the same thing. So we'll just wait for this 4-hour time frame. And we can make a zone right there. So we can make a 4-hour level right there. So we'll say that is our 4-hour. We'll make it green, so it's a demand zone. We can see there's another 4-hour over there. We can see we have a 4-hour resistance level over there. We'll make that red. And just like this, you're just drawing. You're not doing anything complicated. You're just drawing in your zones. And then if you want, you can go to a 2-hour time frame and do the same thing. So right now we are on the 2-hour time frame and we can do the same thing. So what I just showed you guys now is higher time frames. So when it comes to the higher time frames, the weekly, the daily, those kind of stuff, I use those time frames to kind of gauge market sentiment, to kind of gauge where the trend is going. So I'm going to do this really quick. So I'm going to click on settings up here with those 3 buttons. I go to settings and I'm going to go to pre-market and I'm going to make this 0 and I'm going to make this 0, and that'll just make the screen just kind of, it'll clear up the screen for me. It removes the pre-market and the post-market data, and this will allow me to kind of read the markets and see what is going on. So this is what I do before I start trading. Once my zones are all drawn in like this, I kind of gauge, what is going on. So I can see here we have a strong level over here. And this is a strong level because it's a daily level and a 4-hour level, both sitting together. And we can see what happened here. We had buyer step up over here. We had buyer step up. We can see we broke down just a tiny bit, but those buyers stepped in right away. And then you can see we have this 4-hour resistance level. We broke above it, but those buyers could not hold that level. But we can see in the past couple of days, buyers were able to break above that level with a nice green candle over there. So something like this, if I see it, what would I do? What kind of trade am I looking for? Well, I see this as bullish, right? So I see this overall as bullish. I see that we were able to hold this daily level, and I can see we're making higher highs, and now we are breaking above another key level, which is this 4-hour level. But we always need to make sure we are finding great entries. So I'm not going to just enter this trade here, but I will wait for a pullback. So I will wait for a pullback around right here. So if I see a pullback around 427, around 428, this will kind of help me gauge that trade, and I will look for a bounce and a continuation higher. Now, if I am looking for some shorts, if I see some weakness, then the only time that I would be looking for shorts and some weakness is if we start breaking below this big level. So if we start breaking below this daily level, then I'm looking for a short and a continuation lower. Now, I'm going to show you something else that I sometimes like to do as well. So we're going to remove all of those zones right there, and I will go to a 2-hour time frame only. So I go to a 2-hour time frame, I draw in my indicator, and then we will make some zones really quick. So let's quickly draw in our zones. So we have a support level right there. We can say that's a 2-hour. So we'll just quickly make these zones. So boom, we have another support level right there. We have another support level right there. We have another one down here. Whoa. All right. We have another one up here. Another one up there. We have a resistance level over there. Another resistance level over there. Alrighty. So now we can turn the indicator off, and we can go to a bit of a shorter time frame. So we're on the 1-hour time frame right now. And then now I do the same thing where I am looking at past data to try to see what is going on with the markets. This time I'm not looking at higher time frames, so I'm looking kind of at what is immediately happening right now. So I can see this level right here. This is a old support level. You can see before that it was a resistance level. You can see right here, this was a resistance level that we rejected, but we are currently breaking above that level and we are holding above that level. Now, if we go to an even shorter time frame, we notice something else, which is the area that we rejected today. We rejected this 434 level, and we can see in the past that is the exact level that the markets rejected before as well. So this tells us something very, very clear, which is sellers. Sellers are sitting here. So sellers are sitting here and sellers are sitting right here. And one thing that we need to know about sellers is until we can break above that level, they will continue to try to push us lower. So this is currently our resistance level. This is the resistance level for now. What I need to be looking for is if I want to take long positions, I'm waiting for long positions at the demand zone. So this is a demand area. I'm going to be watching to see if buyers step up at this area. You can see that's exactly what happened earlier. We rejected, came down, and then we came to that demand zone and those buyers stepped up. You can see again later in the day, a small move, but those buyers stepped up once again. If you want a higher risk to reward trade, then you can wait for this move down here. You can wait for us to push all the way down to this demand zone, all the way here at 420, and wait for buyers to step up at that level. Now another trade would be is if we break above this level and then hold this. So these levels just tell us where the buyers are sitting, where the sellers are sitting, and where we can find potential moves. It will avoid you looking for trades. Some people are looking for trades here, they're looking for trades here, they're looking for trades here, and all of those areas are not key levels. They are not significant areas. We need to be looking for trades here and here. We need to be looking for trades around these areas. These are the areas where we will see significant bounces. These are the areas where we will see buyers step up. These are the areas where we will see real volatility and real action. So guys, that's all I'm leaving with you guys in this video. If you guys have any questions, just shoot me a message. I'm going to leave the link in the description of our private group so you can meet us there. All right, guys, peace and have a good rest of your weekend.